Stories of Great Christians. From its radio studios in Chicago, the Moody Bible Institute greets its friends everywhere with Chapter 11 in the transcribed story of Peter Marshall, Chaplain of the United States Senate. This story is based on Catherine Marshall's biography, A Man Called Peter, published by the McGraw-Hill Book Company.
I thought it was a good omen, a very good omen, when the girls' glee club sang Annie Laurie.
Oh, you would. Well, Peter, it's all over.
Yes, and you're now a full-fledged bachelor.
Academically speaking, of course.
No, Catherine, it was a beautiful commencement. My congratulations.
Thank you, Peter.
You know, if anybody had told me 3 months ago that I would be standing in front of Main Hall telling the girl I love goodbye and not caring whether all Decatur was at my back and all Atlanta at my front, I would have thought they were crazy.
Peter, the watchman's looking the other way.
Oh, thanks. Catherine, our life together will be a poem, a song, a monument to love.
Yes.
And a memorial to the Holy Spirit who brought us together. May God keep you always.
I thought then that I was going to spend the next year teaching school in the mountains of West Virginia. I didn't know it, but already Peter had quite a different idea. The halls of highest human happiness were closer than I knew.
Why the special meeting, Dr. Marshall? Our wives are waiting dinner.
Well, I promise not to keep you long. I called the session together for a specific purpose.
Must be important.
Gentlemen, I have asked you to come here to share with you something I feel you should know even before your wives do. This will be the first time you can really scoop them on the latest gossip. Gentlemen, I hope to be married this fall, perhaps around the 1st of November. The girl is Miss Catherine Wood.
Well, congratulations, Pastor.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful, Doctor. Well, that's the best news we could have heard. You've waited a long time, boy. I wish you all the happiness in the world.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Later, Peter broke the news to his mother in Scotland, and she wrote me a beautiful reply.
This is the letter of a mother who dearly loves her son, to one whom she is soon to welcome as her son's wife. I am sure this happy event is an answer to our prayers, and that is enough to put our minds at rest. God only gives to his own dear ones the best, and that is how I feel about you and my son Peter. Yes, sir?
I want to send a telegram to Johnson City, Tennessee.
Here's some blanks.
Oh, I have it written already. Here.
Hope you had a safe, pleasant trip. Stop.
Must you read it?
Got to count the words, don't I, mister?
Oh, yes, of course.
Today has been so empty and missing you terribly. Stop. Unforgettable memories and thrilling hopes will help time pass. Stop. I'm thinking of you constantly and will write tomorrow. Stop. Life is wonderful. Remember, I love you, darling. God bless you, Peter. 45 words. That'll be, let's see, 48 cents to Johnson City, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. There you are.
Thank you. And good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
So began a correspondence rare in the annals of lovemaking. Certainly there have been plenty of love letters written before. Literature has preserved a few in which there runs a deeply spiritual note. There have been lovers sufficiently detached to write in a humorous vein. But I doubt if many series of letters, before or since, have more uniquely combined all three attributes. Peter loved to laugh at himself, drawing little impish faces to indicate his state of mind. And the letters never failed to include a weather report, because weather was of utmost importance to him.
Rain, 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 sultry weather, close, stuffy, depressing. I can't even think, I'm so hot, much less write sermons.
And a note on the weather even crept into his frequent telegrams.
Let this be forget-me-nots and sweetheart roses for Sunday. Stop. Last 2 weeks without you have been months. Stop. Weather not too hot. Stop. I love you, darling.
To Peter, there was nothing incongruous about this, and I loved him for it. Peter, that's the place?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much more beautiful than the snapshots you sent.
Look at it, Catherine. Right on the crest of the hill. Tall pines all around.
And even a brook.
You see the rustic bridge?
Do I? How did you ever find this place, Peter?
Oh, just kept looking. And, Catherine, the rent's only $60 a month.
That's probably the thing that impressed you the most.
Oh, a most unfair criticism. Look, Catherine, there's lots of room for a rose garden.
My dear boy, do you know how long it takes to set a rose garden?
Shouldn't be too long.
But the time. Think of the places you've been already this summer. Eagle River, Wisconsin, Washington, D.C., Chattanooga. How you ever find time for a rose garden, Peter?
I'll find time. Say, did I tell you that I'm getting our furniture at half price?
No, you Scotchman. Dr. Marshall, could I be rather frank with you?
After 3 years? Certainly, Ruby. Go ahead.
You went to Washington last June.
Yes?
Well, was that a pulpit supply you filled?
Well, yes, it was. Why?
Some of our people are beginning to wonder. They say you're getting too big for Atlanta.
Oh, nonsense. I have no idea of leaving. Why, I've just rented a beautiful house for Catherine and me after we're married. A real dream cottage, Ruby. A place you probably couldn't find any place else in the country. And so
Still, you filled an empty pulpit, didn't you?
Well, that's true, but they wouldn't be interested in a young preacher like myself. Not that church.
What church was this?
The New York Avenue Presbyterian Church.
The Lincoln Church?
Yes, they say Lincoln worship there. Oh, Ruby, it's huge. The church, I mean. Over 1,200 members. And look where their former pastor was. Dr. Joseph Sizzou, now at the Collegiate Church in New York. Do you think after having Dr. Sizzou as their pastor they'd want me? Oh, really now?
No, they very well might, Dr. Marshall. I hope we don't lose you. At least not for a while. But, Peter, I don't see why I have to read these books.
Catherine, I want one thing understood. I will never be a hypocrite.
Well, that's fine, darling. I'm glad, but these books, well, frankly, I've read others that I think are lots better.
Catherine, every couple that I've married in this church has had counsel from me.
So?
We have 3 meetings before the ceremony. In one, we discuss finances and budgets and insurance programs. In another, we discuss the spiritual values of marriage. And finally, we talk about the physical side of marriage. And these books lay the foundation. They've been read over and over again.
Then you really want me to read them?
Of course. Don't you see, Catherine? Whatever advice I give to others, I have to follow myself. And that goes for you. That's why I want you to read these books. Do you understand?
Yes, Peter. I'll read them.
Let's see if I move this... Oh, Mr. Wood, I didn't see you come in.
Busy, Peter?
Engrossed to this game of Chinese checkers. How's Catherine?
Fine. You nervous?
No, sir. Not particularly.
I wish I could say the same. Catherine's the first daughter I'm giving away. What a day for a wedding.
Yes, it's a good day for staying at home and playing games.
Peter, do you know what we're going to call you before you leave us?
Huh?
Peter Marshall, D.D., GGP.
GGP? What's that for?
Great game player. I've never before seen anyone who could lose himself so thoroughly in chess or checkers or parcheesi.
Well, I find I can best relax from playing a game.
Relax. Peter, are you dressed for the wedding?
Why, no, sir.
Look at the time. Forget the Chinese checkers. There's only a half hour to the ceremony.
Hello, Mrs. Marshall.
Hello, Mr. Marshall.
Well, finally on our way. I didn't think we'd make it.
Wasn't so bad as all that, was it?
I think I'm going to shorten the marriage ceremony after this, my dear. Just so much torture.
You don't really mean that.
Well, no, Catherine. It was a beautiful service.
I, Catherine, do promise and covenant before God and these witnesses to be thy loving and faithful wife,
In plenty and in want,
in joy and in sorrow,
in sickness and in health.
as long as we both shall live. Oh, darling.
Telegram for you, Dr. Marshall.
Thank you, Porter. Here, wait a minute. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Here, Catherine. Read this.
The great event will probably put scores of girls back into circulation. Our sympathy to Catherine. Signed, Cecil Thompson, Bill Stewart, Sam Cartledge. Who are they, dear?
The boys I went to seminary with.
Who's this other one from?
Well, this is sort of a joke on me, too. Congratulations on your admission to the halls of highest human happiness. Signed, the Deacons of Westminster.
You'll never live that phrase down, Peter.
Why should I? I'm going to prove that it's true.
And so we conclude Chapter 11 in the transcribed story of Peter Marshall, Chaplain of the United States Senate. This story is based on Catherine Marshall's biography of her husband, A Man Called Peter, published by the McGraw-Hill Book Company. This is another in the series of Stories of Great Christians, which come to you from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.